Before we start today's video, let me just explain that I'm doing comic videos from now. I know that's what I started my whole channel on, but I'm working on a big VR video if you guys are waiting for that. I've got 42 minutes of footage still to edit, so yeah. And this is going to be like a one-sit trade start off to a series I'm going to be covering. If it does well, then we'll continue. That's basically the premise of one-sit trades now that I'm getting bigger. Right, let's start. There is nothing surprising about the mutants' behaviour. With their ranks cold, they took extreme measures to rectify imminent extinction. Evolution is no whisper humming in the background. It's the true substance to our every motive. It is natural to safeguard one's line for environmental competition. But now the world has seen, felt the mutant boot on its neck, watched as mutants endangered all life to ensure their own propagation. People do not forgive tyranny. Believe me, mankind will come for your people. Their hatred for you is too primal, too compelling to be denied. Hatred is natural. Hatred protects a species from complacency in the face of rivals. It reminds of one simple truth. Kill them before they kill you. The Jean Grey School for Higher Learning. I know what they've done to you. And the animal they created, the Wolverine, but I can see deeper places in a man's soul. It is not your true fibre, Logan. If you'll allow me to, I can help you. I believe with time and work, you might surprise yourself. Logan, it's time. Chuck Xavier dedicated his life to a dream, a pretty simple thing. He wanted to live in a world where humans and mutants got along. A world where folks move past their tribal instinct, fear, and kill the different. Chuck wouldn't have it any other way of doing things. Peaceful cohabitation was the only option. And more important still, how we made our way into it. Alex Summers, I'm S.H.I.E.L.D. Director Maria Hill. Welcome to the brig. Thank you for seeing me, Maria. Chuck saw only one path, protecting those who hated and feared us till they didn't. Road ain't never been easy. Not for Chuck, not for any of us who followed him as X-Men. Some of us died for his ideals, and he carried that weight, but he always lived the example, always toed the line. I woke up today with a good mind to make a trip to a maximum security facility to kill the man who near erased it all. A man Chuck loved like a son. But that ain't how he'd want it. Revenge and hatred went against the man's grain. For some folks, for me maintaining that standard's an awful hard proposition. Scott. Alex. It's like Chuck used to say, maintaining principles when you're up against the wall. It's the only time they mean much of anything. That was at the core of what he was trying to tell us. Doing it the right way ain't easy, not a damn thing that's any good ever is. I'd like to tell you that even though Professor Charles Xavier is dead, his dream lives on. Tell you all some warm fairy tale about the old man resting, secure his students are getting it right. But the truth is, we failed him. Pushed him aside, did it our own way. Chuck died without ever seeing his dream come true. And there ain't no undoing that. We buried Charles today. What a future you've had ahead of you, Scott Summers. Watching the Phoenix erode Jean Grey wasn't enough of an indicator for you, brother. You had to march the X-Men out to double check. Why? In case you missed something the first time around? I didn't see your hand raised when we needed a leader. I wasn't the one they put their faith in. Still, you'd show up and criticize after the battle. Someone had to set things right, the professor's way of doing things. Sure, the old hippies' ideologies couldn't get the job done. Brute force could. Where have I heard that before? New mutants have begun to appear again, Alex. It wasn't about more mutants, it was about you. You couldn't go down as the guy who let the home team lose on his watch. So you gave up on cohabitation, created a mutant army on Magneto Island. How else could this all have ended? You completely disregarded everything Xavier stood for. I spent my entire life fighting for Professor X's dream, Alex. I learned better. You didn't learn anything. You forgot everything Charles taught you. And then you killed him. Alex Summers, come have a cup of coffee with me. The place we go also makes lattes if you prefer. I do. Avengers Mansion. I understood the decision to keep the funeral a family function, but we'd all like to come pay our respects when the time is right. Xavier was a true and noble prophet. His loss is a terrible blow. I'm still just getting my head around it, Phil. Especially the man responsible. I need you to know, despite whatever your brother told you, we're not jackbooted thugs, Alex. My brother doesn't inform my opinions, Captain. Well, one thing he said informed mine. We never did do enough to help you. Scott's a delusional egotist, but he has his moments. I regret what happened. But how the X-Men and Avengers move forward is still in our hands. I'd like you to join us to become an Avenger. More than join, I want you to lead a squad of our very best. X-Men and Avengers working together, setting an example of cooperation. With Xavier gone and Cyclops locked away, someone has to stand up and represent the mutants. Logan is trying and he's doing good work at the school, but with his checkered past, he can't be the face of this. Hey, what are you on drugs? Move your ass! Somebody call the cops. You're a government man, degree in geophysics, a student of Xavier's with a clean history. People will listen to you. They'll follow you. Hey man, you alright? Never better. I'm not Xavier and I'm definitely not my brother. They're gone. You're not. Like it or not, you're the best candidate to lead the fight for Xavier's dream. No, not me. Someone has to stand up and fill their shoes, Alex. Right? Because it all turned out so well for them. Wake up, the time for the humans, the mutants are back! No, out of my way! Run, God, please, not! Oh, go! You hunted us, herded us into camps. Hear me, humanity, the retaliation begins now. Dear God, not like that. John, help me. Deafening rumble. Screams. Havoc, shoot me. We're already too late. Thor will have saved all he can. Avalanche, you murdering coward. Take him down. One chance. The dam burst. The flow released. The inciting act is complete. Jumps without hesitation, his smile. Absolute calm. The hell out of... My son is on the... Move! Right on us! Keep moving! What an absolute horror. I always knew it would end like this. If you want to excite a crowd to violence, preach of peace and tolerance, and they'll tear you apart. Desperate and panicked, we made such a mess of it all, Charles, a mess you gave your life to clean. Spent my life trying to hide who I am, and whose blood is in my veins. But you were always welcome to me, Charles, the daughter of your enemy, and in payment I became your worst nightmare, a terrified mutant with far too much power. And now the final cost of what I see in motion can be measured. You've been silenced, leaving it to us to preserve your ideals. A mission more crucial than ever. To my end, Charles, to my last breath. I will defend your dream. Pick those flowers back up and get the hell out of here. Sugar. I'm just paying my respects and nothing. This is your fault. You set this in motion. I know my part in this, Rogue. I accept responsibility for what I did. Cyclops? He was fighting to save the mutants that you erased. Save them from what? Why was it so important more mutants were born? But why look too close when it's so much easier to blame me? So who is it, the Scarlet Witch then? All your life the X-Men have been hunted like dogs. You ignored it hiding among the humans. Did you tell yourself that you were normal, that you were just like them? Well, you're not, Angel. You're a mutant. And all you've done to add to our suffering. I'm so bored with the matron routine. This halo you X-Men all love to polish. Describe soldiers adorned in X with no dedication to what it actually stands for. I won't fight you, Rogue. My hex powers can be unpredictable. Yeah, mine aren't. I absorb other folks' aptitudes and use them against them. Here, let me show you. Not working. What the hell did you do to my... That wasn't you. No. Your royal gifts fail as you suffer the gaze of the goat-faced girl. Oh. No mutant shall escape the anger of my living wind. I suffer the insect unto myself for the good of all man. My Cassandra toxin will end the threats they refuse to see. No. Wonder. She sleeps now. Get what we came for. The dead do not speak to me now. The dead speak when they are ready. Fine. You know, to bond to such a thing, there are risks to you. Perhaps this is madness. Perhaps we should resume our hunt for the cosmic cube or the bloodstones. Reich chase relics when the most powerful weapon on Earth is unguarded in clear sight. Failure always stemmed from looking to an outside source. They will not be able to take this weapon from my grip. I will be the one with the power. With the brain of Charles Xavier, the Red Skull will eradicate the mutant menace. To be continued. New Union by Rick Remender, John Cassidy, Laura Martin. Right, this is the assembly. I'm not going to read this because it's basically just what comes next. Announcements are out of our time, but anyway. Tibet was a waste. 1,000,000 hours meditating wouldn't touch the dead weight on my chest. Chuck was the only father most of us had. Disappointing the old man is a rock bottom pain that nothing can turn off. Dying at Scott's hand seemed Chuck left with things as bad as he'd ever see. Turns out the world waited for him to die before entirely wiping its hind end on the man's dream. Consider it. Almost a relief he didn't live to see this. Hate like this looks you in the eye, shakes you with faith in the whole mess. Giant damn scar in bold type across the heart of the world, broadcasting the root of this catastrophe through a bullground. The mutants are back. Smelled around for survivors, Cap, and I'm sorry. Avalanche was rehabilitated, Steve. Don't see him doing this. His eyes were vacant. Something was off. For years I have witnessed this enemy between man and mutant. I believe this resolution to simply be a matter of time, that the inherent nobility of making would prevail. Peace would follow. It is no longer conflict I must stand by and let run its course. Whoever this wanted to start a war, they will have one. This craven has earned this full attempt of war, God of Thunder. We will find who is behind this. We will avenge our fallen foe. But right now, our first priority is to prevent more bloodshed, to ensure no one uses the catastrophe to further an agenda or hatred. Havoc has agreed to lead an Avengers unit. I'm going to publicly announce that he'll head up this investigation. People need to see humans and mutants committed to working together now more than ever, before mourning turns to violence. A lot of people dead at the hands of a mutant, and you want the brother of a mutant nearly took over the planet to head up the Avengers' response to this? Gonna piss folks off, Steve. Gonna get mutants killed. I thought you'd be supportive of this, Logan. Couldn't thought I'd be too supportive given you didn't bring it up with me first. Logan, this is why Charles put his students in uniform and sent them out into the world to protect and serve, to win hearts and minds. Alex Summers is a strong and ethical man, a proven leader, a man who normal people can identify with as we navigate this. Picking a pretty mutants to a public face, Steve. You won't frighten people. I won't lie. That's important. What matters most is this is a good man. A mutant community needs. Listen to you, mutant community. There ain't no such thing, Cap. It's a lot of drunken sincerity feeding an illusion that we all belong to something bigger. It's just more the cult cool than Scott was selling. He insisted on thanking you personally. I know a lot of people, and I hope it. You saved my life, saved my Alana's life. I don't care what they're saying about mutants. There aren't enough heroes in the world. We all know why our hearts needs to be done. We should have a national conversation about the mutants when we had the chance. We dodged a bullet, something has decimated their numbers and they were disappearing, almost gone. But now after this Phoenix business, make no mistake, the clock has started again. What happens in New York is a wake-up call. There's still time to correct the ship. To stop this before it starts again. By stop this, you mean you're advocating what exactly? Sentinels on every street corner. I'm a messenger, Ron. I don't have the answer. But if we don't do something, they will eventually overwhelm us. We're too high-minded to consider basic survival. What did we do to the mutants last time their numbers surged? Genosha. Mankind murdered 16 million mutants. When once again mutants number in the thousands, do you imagine they will sit back and hope things go differently this time? I think we saw their answer yesterday in New York. There is no compromise in evolution, my friends, and we're clear. Don't worry, they all saw me as their ideal leader as instructed. A necessary deceit for now. One day mankind will know and esteem you, honest John, the living propaganda, the man who opened their eyes. Woke up in worse situations for sure. Not many. Alive is plenty to be grateful for after being knocked cold by villain types. I hope to God one there is. Much as I hate that nut job, she's Eric's daughter, and if their folks were dumb enough to kill her, we're all in some bad trouble. Ah, here come the geniuses now. You attack the X-Men home, decimate Charles Xavier's mausoleum, and stab the daughter of Magneto? What's the end? You digging up Jean Grey? You speak of genius choices, Bellamere, but you form a member of the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. You and my father both. You remember Dominicus Patroclus Avalanche? He paid for his crimes, as will you. Eat it. It is butter of peanuts and crushed fruit preserves. It is good. The X-Men ain't people you want a war with, Peach, I promise. I'm sorry, is the timing inconvenient? We didn't choose when or where mutants ruined our lives. Z here, for example. Years ago in Ethiopia, your lover Magneto's henchman wiped out his village, his family, everyone he knew. He hid in an oil drum, but you could hear everything. Could you smell the blood of Z's family on Eric's hands as you pleasured him? Was half conscious when they took us, enough to see the teleporter gull is made of water. Establish a connection. Borrow enably Kappa superpowers with a touch. Next up, get wet. Thank Remy LeBou and all those kindly bondage drinking games. I don't want to seem ungrateful, but were you really going to serve me a peanut butter and jelly sandwich? With water to wash it down? The Geneva Convention rules about torture. Look at you, so pleased with yourself. I hate to be a wet blanket. But you're overestimating your worth. Blast meant to kill me. I'm not important. They were after the Scarlet Witch. Yeah, teleportation cannot save you from the full X-Men. Means I'm just a token to be held in case a use is found. A token to be killed should she prove difficult. I am not most definitely that. Wanda nearly died protecting me. Doesn't matter. She's too damned unpredictable to be left in anyone's hands. The mission is clear. Find the Scarlet Witch. Jew, gypsy, and a mutant, yet so beautiful, so deceptively human. Wake an illusion. You get back. Get the hell back. You slept poorly, bad dreams and side effects of the pain relievers. Happily your wound is healed and the drug will soon subside. It was extraordinarily brave what you did. Putting yourself in harm's way to save your father's whore. I knew of your father back when I was still a boy. Upon learning of young Magneto's unnatural genetic attributes, I intended to focus on the entity of my attentions on him. Alas, I was distracted by duty. Had I killed young Eric Lancia, I considered you would not be here, one to Maximoff, the final hope of mankind. It is curious how the worlds connect things. Come. See my school for gifted humans. This is our multi-regional training facility. Once never known where war will take you. A war you want wage on mutants like me? Yes. Out of respect, I'll be upfront with you. Because beyond our obviously insurmountable differences, I believe our interests may intersect. Your motive in attempting to erase mutants, for example. If you think I'd share any insights with the likes of you, this will be a very short conversation. You know nothing of the likes of me. I am not a man you knew. I am not nearly so confused. To me, 1942 was mere months ago. Hitler was meth-addicted, unhinged. I began to suspect we would lose the war. In preparation, Chief Science Officer Arnim Zola recovered my consciousness with a cloned body, preserved in a bunker to revive in 70 years when the world had forgotten me and my perceived atrocities. I awoke an all too familiar world's age. In America I saw the same embers that burned in Germany before the war, a frightened population of totem worships living in the decline, flinching in shadows, all hungry, looking for someone to blame. Mutants are ultimate invading foreigners. You are their greatest fear, and rightfully so. I suspect you must agree in some part of your soul to have done what you did. I was lost, my children dead, and my father, he needed to see that our world was better off without mutants? No. Yes. You've never belonged in their world, Wanda. You've seen them for the danger they are. Deep down you want to live a world free of mutants. We can use the fear of the mutants to unite them to build an eternal Reich. All of the humanity under one flag. Mine. You know what we must do. Do you have the power to do it again? To wipe them out? Provided I had enough casting in the imminent source of power. You will have whatever is needed. Yes, I can do it again. Sir, it's Sarlotton. What is it? Dancing Water and Z have allowed the X-Men to escape. Where is she now? We don't know, sir. I have business. Rest and regain your strength, Wanda. When I return, we will discuss how to move the relationship into a more physical dominion. Yes, Her Skull. I serve the Eternal Reich. Heard all I need to. Remove your hands from me. Got what I wanted. Come on, you confusing idiot, power work. Alakazoo, Kalashayam. You lack the imagination to wield my abilities. From Mount Wondagore, I'm not merely an elemental mutant as I was born. I'm a catalyst for the elements of chaos magic. And it takes a witch to control magic. Ignore trail of trash raised by mutant terrorists. How else could you have turned out? You're a murderous criminal rogue. Dirtbag is embedded too deeply in your genes to outrun. Don't you worry, I'm going to cure you. Try and face me. Turn and face the last. He did this. Took Charles apart. I was going to help him. Dear God. You know Rogue's history. Are we expected to fight beside someone we dare not trust? No, the X-Men would disband if Rogue is accepted, Professor. Do as you must, Storm. I will not abandon this child. All mutants lead extraordinary difficult lives. Most make mistakes and deserve a chance for redemption. Even if it means you will be my sole remaining student, Rogue will have that chance. I'll kill him for this, if it's the last thing I do. It won't be. With your dear Xavier's brain now fused to my own, I can clearly see what your final act will be. Begging. To be continued. I'm gonna leave it there. There's room for another good video. I know I said one-sit trade at the start, but it's gonna be a long one, and I don't want to spam you with long uploads in a row, so I'll leave it here. Goodbye, and I'll see you in the next video.